Hey guys, it's Jen over at worldofjencraft.com, and this is today's project. I am loving these little piggies, and the Coffee Break DSP is super delicious. So I'll get to the products that I used, and then let's get to the project, because I could talk all day long about how much I love this. Cute, cute, cute. Okay, I used the little heart, came from the Subtles Enamel Shapes collection. And this is the new wood grain textured embossing folder that is thicker, kind of like that hexagon embossing folder that I like. So I'm really loving these thicker embossing folders. This little piggy, this is my favorite stamp set. Cute, cute. I also used the Layering Circles framelits, surprise, surprise, and the Stitched Shapes framelits. I know, shocking that I would use those again. Basic black stamp pad. I did pull out my watercolor pencils for this one, Old Olive and Early Espresso, and I used the powder pink Stampin' Up marker, my Aqua Painter, and my Wink of Stella. For paper, I used Early Espresso, a 5.5 by 8.5, and then I have a 2 3/4 inch scalloped circle. And then Pear Pizzazz is 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. Pool Party 1.5 by 5 1/4, and a 2 5/8 inch circle. Watercolor paper I used was 2 3/8 inch stitch circle, and I went ahead and stamped this out ahead of time so I could watercolor on it and not have to worry about the ink not being dry yet. I also used a doily for my background, and the Coffee Break DSP is a 4 by 5 1/4. Let's get to coloring first, because I think that's the most fun part of this whole project. Cute, cute, cute. Now, believe it or not, I used Early Espresso to color my whole pig, because not every pig is powder pink, or, you know, pink actually. So I thought, well, I'm going to go with this kind of brown and see what happens. And he ends up kind of looking like a pinkish brown. So I did this by very lightly coloring on him. But I first started down here with his hooves, and I just colored pretty dark with my watercolor pencil down here. And I did not take the water brush or the Aqua Painter to the bottom part of his hooves. So then all I did was very lightly, you don't need a whole lot down, is go ahead and just kind of fill in here into his legs and his ears. And I did not color his snout with the brown. So I'll kind of show you up close what that looks like. Not a whole lot of color laying down, because I didn't want it to be too dark. So then I took my Aqua Painter, and I believe this is the larger of the two brushes. And there was actually quite a bit of water that came out as I was doing this. But I went ahead and I just moved in a circular motion to get rid of all of those lines. So I'm going to go ahead and just take my Aqua Painter through this whole entire piggy and stop talking, and I'll fast forward through the rest of this. So I think that's about right there. And I kind of kept going back over it a little bit just to make sure that I was getting rid of all of those lines. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here with my powder pink, and I'm just going to kind of color in, and it's still a little wet, which is what I did the first time, and that's okay. So I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to color the bottom part of his ears a little bit, and then I'm going to color in his snout. I just love how he just starts to come to life. So I'm going to come back in through here and just kind of darken these up just a little bit. And then I'm going to come over here to his little tail and color that in as well. And that is what you will end up having. Isn't it? He just turned out really super cute. So I'm going to set him aside so he can dry. And then I'm going to go ahead, excuse me, I've got my allergies are kicking in again. I'm going to go ahead and just start assembling this. This card came from my upline, second upline, Angie Judah, over at my Chicken Scratch, or chickenscratch.com. She does a sketch challenge, and so this was the sketch challenge for, actually for last week. So, and what I did is on my Facebook group, which right now it's Jen's Scrappy Pages. I do need to change it over to World of Jen Craft, but my Jen Scrappy Pages Facebook group is a closed group, but I have been running challenges in it. And so this week, starting today, the challenge is to post a card using this sketch, and everyone who participates receives a handmade card from me, and then I draw from all of the participants to receive a little goodie from my goodie bag. So if you would like to check that out, if you're on Facebook, you can just search out my group, Jen's Scrappy Pages, and you do have to send in a request to join if you would like to join, and I'll approve it as soon as I get it. So I would love to have a few more on the group and some more playing in the challenge. I already have a couple players. So okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get this out, and we're just going to emboss this piece here. So I kind of tried to keep it centered within a couple of the planks to give it a little bit of interest. And that, oops, let's try this again. Let me get, oh, and I'm kind of off. I'm off camera. All right, get this in here, and then I'm going to run it through. And while I'm running this through, I also wanted to mention, if you have not purchased these 6x6 folders yet, you do need the Big Shot in order to use them, because before I joined Stampin' Up, I had a trusty old Cuttlebug that I had had for years, and then when I ordered one of these 6x6 folders, it would not fit through my Cuttlebug. Well, of course, then I'm like, well, I gotta go buy a Big Shot now, and I am so glad I did, because I could tell an immediate difference in the way my dies cut and in the way my embossing folders were embossed. There was just a deeper, more impression that was left with the Big Shot than there was my Cuttlebug. And I loved my Cuttlebug. It was dropped and it was abused over the however many years I had it. I had it a long time, but I cannot tell you the difference that the Big Shot I noticed when I got it. So if you are in the market for a die cutting machine, I highly, highly, highly recommend the Big Shot. Okay, so I'm done talking. That's my little spiel for the day. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put my doily down here, and then we're gonna layer these up. And that is going to go on here. Again, I just love the way these little scallops just peek through. There's just something kind of dainty about it. So this is going to go on top. And aren't these colors together just absolutely delicious? Love them, love them. I can't wait to play some more with this whole paper pack. I do have a stamp set and die that goes with it, but I kind of wanted to play with my piggies. So I'm just going to pop this up, and that's going to go obviously in the center of my doily. Kind of has a little country feel, doesn't it? I think so, at least. So this is where my favorite tool of all time comes in, and I'm going to go ahead and just brush my Wink of Stella over the whole entire piggy. I swore that this time I wouldn't forget anything, but as I'm looking at this, I did notice that I forgot to color in this grass down here. So I'm just going to quickly take this while it's still on. And this is the old olive pencil. So I'm just going to kind of, doesn't really matter how much you lay down here. And then we're going to make sure that's clear. And then I'm just going to kind of color this in down here and just blend all of my greens. So we have a nice little grassy area that he's standing on. So that is it. And even my piggies turned out a little bit different too. This one I had a lot of water on it to begin with, and I ended up taking my heat gun to it. So I don't know if it turned out a little bit darker, but I kind of like both of them. And isn't it crazy how by using that Early Espresso pencil, it doesn't turn, I mean, it kind of ends up turning out pink. So cute, cute, cute. Thank you, thank you, thank you for watching. I really honestly do appreciate it. I love, love, love my job. And I love sharing my creations with you guys. And you guys are all so sweet. When you leave me comments, it brings the biggest smile to my face. I wish you could see it. It means so much to me. I love this. I love sharing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will have dimensions on my website for you to be able to print out, along with a supply list at worldofgencraft.com. And another thing, be on the lookout for possibly card classes online or something like that in the very, very, very near future. I'm working on it, and I hope to be able to bring something to you shortly, maybe in the next month. So thanks again for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.